Hello guys and welcome to Odds on Ligue, and we have Alain Valnegri to analyze and to give us some tips in this second match day, and I also want to know your opinion, so remember, leave a comment below, and of course if you enjoy our videos, click the like button, subscribe and click on the bell to get notifications. And now let's go on with the show. So we are ready to enjoy the second match day in Ligue 1, and Alain, we had so many surprises actually in the first match day. Let's see what we have in this one. How are you, Alain?
Hello, Eduardo. Yes, a lot of surprise. It is typical of the first journeys when the league beginning, and we have the confirmation last week in France.
Exactly, and only actually for victories we had so many draws, so many chances to make some money while betting, because always the draw pays very high. So let's start analyzing every single game, starting with the one on Friday. We have Lorient Monaco. Monaco in the middle of the week, they beat again Sparta Prague, so they are in the final playoff of the Champions League. Of course, is one of the goals of the club qualifying for the group stage of the Champions League, but in the first match day they were a little bit disappointing in the opening game of this Ligue 1. They only draw at home against Nantes with a goal scored by Gelson Martins, and Lorient also they got a point. Probably they are happier against Saint-Etienne. Despite the first result, Alain, Monaco favorite to win on the road against Lorient.
Yes, they're favorite, but they're in the middle of the champions, and the goal in August is try to qualify to the final stage in Champions League. Lorient start very well the season, a good point in Saint-Etienne. Last season, Lorient have a lot of problem away. It was one of the worst team away. And at home is a team with a lot of passion, with an high pressure. They search you high in the field, and Monaco sometimes they suffer the high pressure when they start to build the game. Monaco are really superior about Sparta Praga, but with Nantes, I think that the result was liar, because Monaco have the control of the match during all the game, but they don't found the keys to score the second goal and win the first game. For this game, my prediction is the first goal in the game will be Lorient. With a 2.75. Lorient normally start very intense the game at home, and Monaco maybe there will be have the head of with the champions with the next game with against Shakhtar Donetsk, and I think Lorient can score the first goal in the game.
Then also, if someone trusts Lorient to get a point against Monaco, double chance for Lorient. So if they win or they draw, the odds are 2.13. Also good odds for this game. Then on Saturday we have Lille-Nice. Lille gave us the most exciting game in the first match day, because it was a 3-3 draw against Metz. They scored the last two goals to draw that game in the last 10 minutes, while they were playing with one player more, because Metz got a player sent off, whereas Nice, also another team that probably a little bit disappointed in the first game, they only got a draw against Reims at home.
It's a special game because Christophe Galtier is back in Lille. Was the trainer about the title the last year, was the brain about build a winning team. He needs to build a winning team with the same context, in the sense of their working a lot with the young player, with a big talent. They have money to buy the player. Now Galtier must to build an identity with the football of Galtier. in the first game, we saw the team have a lot of problem in attack, positional attack, and the context against Lille will be different. Lille is a team with his new trainer. I have the possession of the ball, and that one means their open space for Nice, and Galtier's team live with the space. They are the player to attack the space, to start the transition, offensive transition. And for that game, I saw a lot of goals, and my prediction is an over 2.5. The odds are attractive, 2.22, and I think it can be a game with a lot of goals.
Okay, probably also we see a lot of goals in the Parc des Princes, PSG Strasbourg. We had this week the unveiling of Leo Messi as a new PSG player. They've built a team that it looks like FIFA or Pro Evolution Soccer actually, and they have their first home game after struggling to beat Troyes actually on the road, but the new signings are already working, especially Achraf Hakimi, who scored the first goal. Now they are playing against the bottom of the table, Strasbourg, who was surprised at home against Angers.
Yes, it was a little surprise because we know the power of Strasbourg when they play. The fact Paris Saint-Germain in Strasbourg, since Strasbourg is back in Ligue, they always every year have problem and lose some game in La Méno. Saturday the game will be really different. I think Strasbourg can have a lot of problem this year because I don't understand the philosophy about the new trainer, the continuity about the big job made Thierry Loret. And in the first game we can saw the limit. We can saw the team need some new signing, and it appears that don't will be came. I think this year Paris Saint-Germain, one of the goals in every game, Edu, will be finish the game in clean sheet. Because with that offensive powder, where do you need to work more? In the defensive phase. And it will be the best training for the champions. I will be dominate my area. I will be dominate and protect my goalkeeper. And for that game, I think the odds is really interesting. And the clean sheet about PSG at home is 2.0, and is interesting because I think it's possible to be passed Saturday at Parc des Princes.
Okay, PSG clean sheet is always very difficult, I guess, to find value in PSG games from the betting perspective, as is happening also for us when we analyze the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich, because they are so much better than their rivals that always the odds for the outright market are very low. But you also, guys, leave a comment in the video to tell us also your tips for the PSG game or for every other game of this second match day of Ligue 1, for instance. Angers Olympique Lyon, our next game. Olympique Lyon, another team that disappointed a little bit in the first game because they only get a draw against Brest in the debut of Peter Bosz. Slimani got that goal, whereas Angers, we just mentioned it, they are on the top of the table after that victory away against Strasbourg.
Lyon choose Peter Bosz to open a new era, but Peter Bosz don't have at that moment the player to play his football. And the rumors in Lyon said that there will be sold another player in the midfield, and at this moment this team is incomplete. Is a team live for the individual playing during the game. They are not a collective. And at this moment, one of the worst team you can meet is Angers. Angers in the last 10 years is a team. His success is the team, is not 1, 2 or 3 players. And that one, I think that they work very good in the west of France. And now the continuity con Batles is con Baticle, who knows very well Lyon because he was assistant, made Angers at this moment with something more respect to Lyon. It's strange what I said you, but like collective and the difficulty to play with Angers because is a team is really comfortable to wait you in his third, and that one made the prediction Angers with double result 1x with an odds 2 can be interesting, especially after the first game about the two teams and the voice of Mercato in Lyon are not especially positive.
Then a surprise here in the Stade Raymond Copa for Angers to get some points also against Olympique Lyon. Then we have Brest, Rennes, two teams that drew in the first match day. Probably Brest, they are happier because they got that point on the road and against Lyon than Rennes that they drew at home against Lens. So not a great debut for Genesio. Despite that first result, actually Rennes, they are favorites to win away this game. Odds 2.4 for them.
Yes, it's a derby. It's true. I think I saw Rennes can be superior to Lens in the first game, but there miss a lot of occasion. There must to correct that in front of the goal, but the identity of the team we can show that against Lens in the first game. The rival is difficult because Brest made a very good game in Lyon with a lot of passion, with aggressivity more than the last year, and he was that part must to correct Michel Darzacarian, the new trainer, and I think he transmit and this concept to the team. Is a very special game. Normally in Brest, they wait all the season that game because you play against the biggest team in the region. And for that game, I saw an X, a draw with an odds 3.25. Is really interesting.
Then draw in the Stade Francis Lebleu. Then we go to Clermont 3. Clermont, actually you nailed it, Alain, because you said they were gonna get points or even beat Girondin Bordeaux, and they won 0-2 there with 2 goals scored in the last 10 minutes, whereas 3, they put a fight against PSG, which is already a lot, although they lost. And for this game, probably because of the good match day, the first good match day of Clermont, they are favorites to beat 3.
I'm not sure. The odds said that, but it's a mathematical formula in this case because who watched both game. We watch a very good 3 against Paris Saint-Germain. 3 can be a surprise in this Ligue. They know each other very well because the last 2 seasons they're played in the Ligue 2. Both teams. Clermont, I wait that result because Bordeaux has a lot of problem, and Clermont. When do you go to the first division? You have an enthusiasm in a positive way. Who in the history we saw a lot of first game in the first division. Their win with respect to the positive mind and enthusiasm. In this case, I saw a victory of 3. Cygnus will be due 2, and the odds 3.75. After I saw the both first game, 3 make a big game against Paris Saint-Germain. If they can reproduce this game, I think 3 can win in Clermont on Sunday.
Big victory, actually. Odds quite high. If someone is a little bit more cautious, we also have the possibility to bet on Asian Handicap 0 for 3. The odds are 2.61. So if there is a draw in this game, you get your money back if someone wants to follow the victory of 3 but are a little bit more cautious with the odds. Then we have also very high odds for our next game, very similar actually. Nantes Metz, because the home team here is favorite, but the odds are quite all right actually. 2.25 after that draw got at the Ligue Stadium thanks to the goal scored by Castelletto, whereas Metz, as we spoke at the beginning of the video, they got a point against Lille despite playing the second half with one less player because Kouyaté was sent off, and also we have the first top scorer of the competition with Chentonce, who scored a brace. You expect here? What do you expect here, actually?
But Nantes was really lucky in Monaco because the Monaco managed and dominated the game during the 90 minutes. Nantes have a very good goalkeeper, and that one you can bet about only with your goalkeeper. Nantes have big problem in the game. I think it's not a team to play in a defensive way. There are a lot of offensive players with talent, but Comboré don't use that during the game. In change, instead, Metz is a really interesting team. The last year, I think, with Lens, there was the underdog about the Ligue 1. They played without a bomber, a really striker, because Nian was the star striker, was injured all the season. Nian is back, and against Lille, you can show with Nian that team have a big powder in offensive phase. In the middle, they don't change nothing. The player, the fullback, are really interesting player because in offensive phase they are really active. You saw the last week with Chentonce scored two goals. For that game, I saw an over 2.5. The odds are really interesting, 2.38, and I think it can be possible to show minimal 3 goals Sunday at La Beaujoire.
All right. Also, we saw goals in the first game of Montpellier. Now they are traveling to face Reims. Montpellier, they lost 2-3 against Marseille despite leading 2-0 at halftime. And Reims, they got a point against Nice. So not a bad start at all for Oscar Garcia Jungen Ment. Now they are actually also favorites. Again, we have very high odds despite Reims being favorite. As I said, odds 2.6 for a home victory here.
I think Reims in that moment, in the collective perspective, have something more, because Oscar entered in Reims with the idea to change something, but he understands it's a little soon to have a biggest changement. He gives continuity. You saw the game in Nice, and you saw Reims with solidity, defensive solidity, really strong. The team with a lot of discipline dominated the second ball. Really dangerous in transition, in open play. In change, Montpellier changed the philosophy of play, changed all the defense. In the last 3 seasons, he was a really experienced defender. they lose every older defender like Hilton for an age reason, and thereby really young player. And in the game against Olympique de Marseille, we saw that Montpellier is an electric team in offensive phase, but in defensive phase, he can't defend all the game in his area, and that one can be a limit, I think, against a team like Stade de Reims. And I saw Reims winning at home odds 2.70 for the game in Champagne Sunday.
Then we have two teams that drew in the first match day, Lens, Saint-Etienne. I just mentioned that Lens got the draw against Rennes with a goal scored by Fofana, whereas Saint-Etienne, they did it at home against Lorient thanks to a penalty scored by Kartzi. Lens here, really favorite actually, odds 2.16.
Yes, I think for as the trainer the manager about Lens, working during the summer, during the pre-season, to give to the team a really good condition at the beginning of the season. Last season we saw that, because in the first round Lens was brilliant in a European position, and after, in the second part of the season, we saw something. They lose the athletic condition at the physical way. The idea of football of us is a football really dynamical, and when you don't have 100% about physical, the team lose a lot. And the team in this moment are really well, because have a draw in Rennes means Lens is the Lens of the first round of the last season. And change Saint-Etienne have a lot of problem, economical problem, mean no new signing, is a really young team. For the game at Sunday, there don't will be have Lucas Durna, for me key player in that team. Instead is really young, but he don't have a substitute with that level in a zone really important for the play of Claude Puel. Claude Puel asked for a center defender, and he doesn't signing a new player. He play with a guy last season play in national, in the third division. Started in the third division in that way is really difficult, and we saw the limit during the preseason. We saw the limit the last Sunday against Lorient, and found Lens in that moment is not a gift. And I think Lens is favorite. The odds are really attractive for the difference between both teams, and Lens will be win, in my opinion, odds 2.00.
Okay, Lens to win, and our last game bring us to the south, Olympique Marseille Bordeaux. Marseille, they were able to come back after losing 2-0 at halftime against Montpellier, as we mentioned before. Cecic Under and Dimitri Payet, who scored a brace, scored the goals for Sampaoli's men, whereas Bordeaux, you just mentioned all the problems they had before the game against Clermont, where they lost, so a bad start for them for the season. And actually, I'm a bit surprised with the odds. It's not bad. The Olympique Marseille victory odds are almost 1.91. I guess they are very favorite again, Alain, to get the second victory of the season.
Yes, I see the bookmaker may watch more the history to give that odds, because we saw the preseason about both teams. We saw the first journey, and in the first journey we have the confirmation. Olympique Marseille is a passionate team. Maybe it's the most passionate team in Ligue 1. They can receive 2 or 3 goals, but they can move the game back and winning the game in a field difficult like Montpellier. I think Sampaoli this season have a big chance. He has bench respect to the past, and that one can be a keys for the season of Olympique Marseille, because Sampaoli asks a lot of passion to his player, and to play with this passion you must have a bench with player can be make the decision when they enter, like Cengiz Under in the last game against Montpellier. In change Bordeaux now there must to give time to Petkovic, to give an identity, to finish the market with 2 or 3 signing, because there will be lose 1 or 2 player important his team. Bordeaux is under construction in this moment, and Marseille have identity, have passion. Marseille is back to the Stade Vélodrome. For this game, I saw Marseille in a similar keys than in Montpellier, with Marseille score over 2.5 goals in the second half, and the odds are 2.11.
Okay, then Marseille to score in over 1.5 goals in the second half. We have our 10 tips for this second match day. Alain, merci beaucoup, and see you next week.
Thank you. Ciao, Edu.
Ciao. We have now all the tips for this second match day. Amazing team that PSG is building. You can see now all the tips for this weekend. Remember, also, I want to know your opinion, so let me know what you think in the comment section, or give us also your tips. And if you enjoy the videos, press the like button, subscribe, and click on the bell to get notifications. If you prefer, also, we have a podcast for you, so you can listen to all our videos. See you next week with more Ligue 1.